our project is going to be a little flower arrangement for Christmas, or like a table or something like that. So I got these. These came from Sims Pottery, gold, and I got it in silver. So I've already cut the silver up, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. So it has 5 pieces, okay? So the longest piece is what we're going to put in the center, and then we will stagger the rest. So I went ahead and cut them. Okay, and some of the other things, now I've cut some pieces up. This is going to be our container. But I wanted you to see what the pieces look like before I cut them up. Okay, so I have one like this, and I just cut various pieces off it, mostly these long pieces that have a little bit of frosting on them. This came from Carolina Pottery. We're going to be cutting up some of this. This is also from Carolina Pottery. These came from Sims, or Star Pine. Now we're just going to use, see, these are all Star Pine. We're just going to use various pieces off of it, such as this. I like these little plastic pieces here. They're long and bendable. So this is just going to help us kind of fill in the center. Okay. This is also from Carolina Pottery. Yep, same one as this one. So see, I've already cut a little bit of it off, but not very much. This one is one of the favorite ones that I have over here cut to use. This is also from Carolina Pottery. It has little pine cones on it. It's got little frosting on it. It's very cute. Then I have this piece. This came from Sims. This one came from Carolina Pottery. Eucalyptus spray. There's the eucalyptus spray. So I have a couple pieces of that. This also came from Carolina Pottery. It did not have a tag on it, but we're going to use some of these pieces. I've seen the same thing at Sims as well. This is from Sims. Okay, and these are a couple of pieces I've already cut. Okay, and then this also came from Carolina. Came from Carolina. So I really like this. This is a stick. It's been frosted. You can cut pieces off and they're bendable. So this is going to give a little bit of interest to our piece. Alright. This was just a leftover piece I had, so I just put it in here because we may or may not use it. Alright. So first things first. So I had put in some of the GAC foam in here, but it went way over and I had to cut a lot of it off. So what I'm going to do is I have a little tiny half piece of floral foam. It is 1.9 inches by 3.9 inches. And these are very handy because a lot of times you don't need the whole piece. Alright, so there's 2 ways you can do it. You can trim it and place it in here and have it fall like this, or you can place it upside down and you can cut it off at the ridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it down. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm just going to score it where I know I need to cut it off. Okay. So I want to make sure I can fit it down in there, and I can. Is I will take this and I'm going to just put some glue on this. I have my glue pot going. So I'll just kind of dip it in there. Okay. Remember, you want your glue pot to be not so hot that it is going to burn things. So when I'm working with florals, And I always make sure I have the tallest one and the largest one first. Okay, I've already put a pick on it with my pick machine here. Now, sometimes you need a pick and sometimes you don't. So the way you determine it is if it is nice and stiff. This one is, but I just wanted to get a little bit more height out of this because I had a certain height I wanted it to be. So I will take this piece and I will run it in my glue. You don't need a ton. Okay, and I'm going to put it smack dab in the center. Like that. So the way that you do when you are doing florals. With florals, you need at least one large focal point and then two that are under that. Preferably if they are slightly smaller. So what I like to do is take one that is smaller. Okay, so it's almost like a stepping stone effect. So I have this one, I put a pick on this one. Okay. I'm going to put it towards the outside. Alright, and I'm going to bend it over. I also took this one and bent it over. I'm going to put it on the other side. I like to put my main pieces in first. So you can see we already kind of have the design element that is required when you are doing florals. And then I will go ahead and place the other two I have. Now you could stop with 3 and just start putting in some greenery, but I really like to, if I have 5, I'm going to use 5. But I do like to have an odd number when I am doing florals. It really does kind of help, and you see how we have all different levels. We also have some that are hanging out, and that's what you want, okay? All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling out the edges. And this is that cute little piece that we had. With the little pine cones, and I just cut it so you can see it was one piece, just like this. That's my one piece. Hold on. There we go. So it was one piece just like this with this running in the back, and I just cut it in 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this around the outside. All right. So I'll just take it, run it through my glue. And I'm just going to start placing it in. I want to get it fairly close to the edge. Okay. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to kind of go around. And I'm not worried if it does not, let me zoom in a little here. I'm not worried if it does not cover completely because we have a lot of other things we're going to be adding in. Okay. I'm going to put this one here. Okay. This one, there isn't very much stem left, so I am going to clip this off so that I have at least a little. Okay, put it right here. I have to have at least enough to go in there. There we go. Alright, so now I have this extra piece, and I can just put some glue on it. And what I can do is just glue it right behind that piece so that it'll make it a little bit fuller. Alright. Now, I want to get some filling in the center so that it will really help and fill it in, and we're not going to be able to see all this. So what I do is I take these, I love these, they are just little like pines, and I can stick them in here. Okay, so what I did is I put a little hook on it. Okay, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to place it right down in the middle. Okay, the other thing I like to do is take this one, and I love to take these right here. So these are like a long plastic, and I'll just trim it off. Okay, I will load a pick, set it in there, and squeeze it down. Now if you don't have a pick machine, you can use the green floral picks. Okay, so this is really great. So what I can do is put it in the glue, and this is where we're going to give our piece volume. So I'm going to kind of set it on the inside, and then I'm going to fold it over so that it is outside the bounds of our piece. Okay? So we're going to do that a few times. So I think I have another one here. Okay, so this is the smaller pine, and I'm just going to kind of fill in some of the center. I'm also going to kind of pull that out a little. Here's another one of those long pieces. I love this. Okay, so I have that one on that side. I'm going to put this one on this side. I want to make sure it's bending out. Okay, here's another one. Whoop. Let's put a new pick on this one. There we go. Alright, I want to put this one in here. Like that. Alright, we also took from this these pieces here. So these have nice volume in them, and they really help to cover. Let's see, what did I do with that piece? Well, we'll just cut a new one off. I thought I had one loaded, but I did not. Okay, so this one also is going to need a pick. So I just pull it out, load it up, and put some glue in it. All right, and this is going to go on the inside. So you can see I'm just going to put it right in here. And you see how much volume that fills up right there. All right, so here's the other one. All right, we're going to put a pick on it. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're setting it right on the inside, right in there. So you see how it's already starting to fill in our inside. Okay. Alright, so we have another small one. We're going to put this towards the front. So I'm going to put it right in here. And that helps cover anything in here. Okay, so we have a little bit of area right in here we need to cover. Alright. So I have another one. So let's put a pick on it. Oops, I think I missed that. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to put this one right in here. We'll just kind of place it down, okay, and move it out a little bit. So you see, one thing you want is you want to have some coming out of the side so that it is not so squat and all one piece. The other thing you can do is thin these flowers out a little more. Okay, like this. So flowers in nature aren't going to go all one direction. They're going to go in different directions. So that's what you want. Alright, so I have this little pick that has a piece of cotton in it. I think that would be really cute in the center. So this came from Carolina Pottery as well. So I'm going to place this in the center. So see, you will see that little piece of cotton just kind of peeking out. Alright. Alright. I cut a couple pieces off of this here, so I'm going to need to put a pick on it. And if it's not long enough, I will pull a couple little leaves off the bottom. Makes it a little bit easier to load the pick on. Okay. I'm going to place this in the center. So I just move things over. Okay. There we go. So I definitely want to get some pieces in the center. Alrighty, there we go. So see, we have this little piece coming out. Alright. So I cut a few pieces of this with the little bells on it. So here they are. I like pieces that have movement. Okay. So I'm just going to take it. And you really just kind of want to find a place that you can get it in. Okay, and we don't want it to be hanging out inside our arrangement. We do want it coming outside. Alright, here's another one. Okay. I'll do one on this side. There we go. See? That. Okay. I have this nice little flower, and I want to find a good place. Aha. So right here there's an empty spot. So I am just going to load it up with glue, and I'm going to place it right down in here. Sometimes I use my pliers because I don't want to get my fingers burnt. Okay, so there we have a little flower kind of poking out. So we need a little bit more height over here. We have this piece. Okay. I'm going to put a pick on this one. Okay, then I'm just going to put a little glue on it. Alright, and then let's see, let's put it right in here. Okay, so I want to make sure I have enough height in here. Okay, so we need some height right in here. Oh, here's a good one. Just remember, if you need to, grab your pliers to put it down so that you do not get nabbed with glue, because that is definitely what you don't want. Okay. Alright, so you see how we're making sure that we have adequate height. We're also making sure that we have the cascade effect. Okay. This might be a little bit higher than I wanted it to be. One thing we have are these cute little pine cones, and a great way to put these is to put them on the side and have them hanging off. Okay, so it already has wire in it, so I'm just going to put a pick on it. Like this. There we go. I'm going to place it in here, and I want it hanging out to the side, just like that. Okay. Just glue on my fingers. I think we have another one in here. Yes, here it is. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay. Alright, so I put this on the side where the writing is. I'm going to put this one on the other side. Just going to sneak it in there and have it hanging off the side. Okay, there we go. So you see, you can still see where it says Snowballs 10 cents. Okay. Alright, we also have these. I think these are adorable, and it's going to kind of help fill in a little bit. So these are just from a pick. See, they're just right back here. These are from Carolina Pottery as well. Okay. So these are great because you can kind of pull them and they just help fill in like an area where it looks like there might be some space. So like right here. Okay. So I have another one. Alright, so let's put a pick on this one. right in here. And you can kind of move your flowers around as you need to. Okay. So. Alright, so now I'm just going to look and see if there's any areas I think I need to fill in a little bit. And there usually is. Ooh, and we have these. Let's add some of these. I have one already taken out. Let's pick it. So this is awesome because it's going to help give it some whimsy. See there? It's just kind of, yes, I like that. Okay, I have another one right here. Alright, let's go put this one on this side. So these really help give it a little bit more volume. You see how it kind of gives it a little bit more volume. I think I really need to fill in right here. Back here, it's nice and full, but right here you can kind of see right through. So, let me just see. That might work. How about this? Oh, I think this might work. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing is I am covering up right in here, so I'm probably going to have to just move things around a little bit. Push this down. There we go. Alright. So now you can see, you cannot see in there where our flower is, because what you don't want is you don't want people to look in there and see the stem of the flower, and then it no longer looks like a nice natural arrangement. You see? You can't really see inside there. Okay. Alright. I think we're doing pretty well. I like this side, looks good. This side might need a tad. This definitely needs something. So, I think we need some height in here. Let's see. So we'll just cut another piece off. There we go. Take those bottom leaves off. Just makes it a lot easier to put the pick on. Alright, so see, we're going to put it right in here where it needs some height. And it can get a little bit challenging when you get to this point and you already have a lot in there. There we go. Just kind of making sure things are going where I want them to. Yes. Okay, good. Bend that over a little. Okay, so I'm just making sure that my pieces are going where I want them to go. Okay, alright, now I want to put some more of this in. Oh, and I forgot we have these. Oh, yes. Let's have these in. I think these are so cute. So I'm going to put these in. Whew, if I can find a place. There we go. There's one. There's the other one. Okay, so we can kind of, yeah. We have one more of these. Let's see. I think this side needs it. So what you're really doing is you're just building balance, and you're just making sure a nice coverage, but you also have some pieces, some whimsy pieces coming out. Right now, I think the last step is we are going to add some of these sticks in. Now I did have this, but it's like a fake stick and I just don't like it. It looks fake. So I usually throw the things away that just look totally fake. Alright. Now I have this other piece of cotton that I thought I would put towards the bottom. Alright. So let me load this one on. So what I'm doing is looking for a spot where I can kind of see there, just like that. So what it's doing is it's covering where you can see a little bit of the styrofoam. It just kind of gives it a little interest and covers it at the same time. Alright, so now I'm going to cut some of these off. You can also pull them out. Yeah, let's do that. I want to break them apart. More bang for our buck. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put a pick on it. Okay. Alright, I want to put this. Alright, I want it kind of coming out. Yes. Alright, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. I like to fold these over because it helps the pick stay on a little better. Just a little trick. Alright. Yes, I like it. Alright, let's do a couple more. These are one of my favorite because they just really give a lot to a piece. It just really helps. Come out. There we go. Alright, and over here. There we go. That's better. So now it doesn't seem like our piece is so contained because we have these little pieces that are coming out. We even have a little that are above our tallest flower, and you could even seat the flower a little bit more, but I like it. Okay, so I want to pull out these a little bit more. Okay. I don't want it to feel so closed in there. So what I do is I just kind of play around with the flowers until I see that they're where I want them to be. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Then I just kind of look around and see if I have any little spots that need to be worked on. That's good. To put one more of these in the back side here. Alright, so I will pull out one piece. Okay, I'm gonna I'm just going to put it in here. Alright, there we go. Awesome. Okay. Alright. I think that's it. So you just go around and kind of move things around until you're happy with them. And then that's all. Oh, let me pull this back up. Okay. And there we go. One arrangement. See how fun that is? Let me just turn it around this way so you can see. There we go. Alright, well, I will be back with more stuff later. I hope you enjoyed this and it gives you an idea